All right. Hi, I'm Amanda Jedlinsky, Senior Director of Content and Communication for the Society of American Florists, and I'm here today with Jazmin Albarran, Executive Director of Seed Your Future. That's an organization that works with schools and colleges to bring awareness to careers in horticulture and floriculture. And they do that through initiatives like Green Career Week, which is happening September 30th through October 4th, Seed to STEM, a new program for high school teachers to learn about horticulture careers so they can share that knowledge with students in the classroom. And now Seed Your Future is launching a new webinar series. It's called Growing Careers, Exploring Opportunities in Horticulture. This is a webinar that is just for college students. And Jazmin, tell us more about this series and how it will further help Seed Your Future's mission.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amanda, for having me and shedding some light on this program and Seed Your Future. So, in conversation with college students, really just them saying, I don't know what's out there. I know I want to go into horticulture. I know I want to go into floriculture, but what do those jobs actually look like? What can I actually do? And then also from the employer perspective, hearing their feedback of saying, and when we hire some of these young students or these recent grads, they want to be CEOs within 3 years of graduating. So this will not only talk about careers, it'll do a little level setting for students to
Mm.
understand more and more what's realistic and some of those expectations. So we're going to have four professionals sharing about their journey. What do they do during college to secure a job before graduating? And then really share of what are some of the things they did within 10 years of graduating to, again, talk to those students about what some of those positions and tasks might be. And so as they're new into the industry, they have a better understanding of what their roles would look like. And so really it just came from hearing what the students' needs were, how we can fill that gap and help them connect. Because I've talked to several students that graduate without job offers and just not understanding how they're missing out when you have so many people within industry employers saying we need
Mm.
more and we need younger people. And so how are they missing that boat, right? And so the idea is that we'll have up to maybe six of these a year, starting with the one in October this year, and then we'll have a couple next year. Another thing that I've had students ask me is, so do I need a one-page resume or a three-page resume? And I tell them it depends on the employer, right? Like they might want different things. They definitely all need their own cover letter. And so
Mhm.
similar, we're going to invite an HR manager, director to come on and speak to what it would take to be hired at their company. For the first one, it's going to be Monique at Ball Horticulture Company. And so she'll speak to what she wants to see on a resume, what she does not want to see, what are some things that will set a student apart from another applicant as they're applying, and just really break it down so it's not as mysterious, right? Or as
Mhm.
hard for students or as stressful, because they'll get to hear from companies specifically what they want in new hires on your resume, but then also some of those soft skills that are important to work in a team, to work in the industry. So really it's just helping make those connections and get students information they need to be successful working with industry.
Yeah, I love the networking aspect of this, and the fact that students who attend these will be able to ask questions of the professionals on the call. That is just a tremendous advantage. So it's really exciting that you're doing that. And I understand that these experts span the gamut from like breeders to propagators and growers, and maybe even some people in the floral industry. So the first one is in October. Can you tell us a little more about who's going to be on that and what students can expect to hear from them?
Yeah. So as you can imagine, with how many careers are in this industry, but most students don't. And so trying to fit as many as you can into an hour with still being able to have some Q&A time, we picked four careers. We are going to do, like you said, a breeder, floral plant with ball. We're going to do a head propagator with a native plant nursery. We're going to do some automation within climate control. We're going to have marketing with a botanic garden, and then Monique talking about the HR. And every one of the webinars will have four different careers, and then a
Mhm.
different HR manager talking about how they hire at their company. And so we're already now looking to see to line up speakers for the next couple of months, have those in place so that we can start promoting those, like even at this saying, hey, you want to learn more about other careers, register now for the next one. So we're going to hope to keep them always on a Thursday, later afternoon. So as some of those students are done with
Hmm.
their courses.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awesome. What a great way to show them how global and dynamic horticulture and floriculture is. So I did mention earlier Green Career Week, and we would be remiss if we didn't give it a little plug here because it's coming up at the end of September. And this is an event in which participating businesses and organizations use Seed Your Futures ready to go resources to connect with local schools, whether that means visiting the school or inviting students to your place of work to show them the opportunities that exist, or even just participating via social media to show people the careers that exist at their business. So there is still time to get involved, but Jazmin, what would you tell somebody who's kind of interested about how they could get started?
Yeah, and by all means, we want them to, field trips is what we really, really want. But if you can't do a field trip, go into a classroom and do a presentation about your company. What are the positions that you have, the departments? Bring a couple of people from different of those positions to share why they love working for you, why they've been there so long, what's their favorite part of their job. One thing that we know about this Gen Z and those after that is that they don't want to just work at a 9 to 5. They want to be a part of missions. They want to solve problems. They want to impact the planet. And horticulture and floriculture are doing that work, right? You know the impact of flowers on our mental, physical, and emotional health. And getting that message to these students so they realize they can have that impact and through these plants and through these flowers is really important because they don't always are able to put that two and two together. So it takes industry, right? Being a voice for their company, being their voice for industry, and getting in front of this next generation of employees. But then also think about it, they can also be the next generation of clients. If they know who you are and recognize your brand, they're more likely to buy from you than someone else, right? And so that's the reason why Green Career Week is so important because it's one, yes, getting industry in front of students as potential employees, but then also clients. And the third part of that is social media. So if it's too daunting to do a field trip or a class presentation, interview some of your staff for social media, interview a different person each day of the week, similar, ask them what they love about their job, why have they been there, how do they find their job, and you'd be surprised at how cool some of those stories are. And so just showing that passion to students is equally important. And then using the word hashtag to post those on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc., so that we can tell teachers and students and parents follow that hashtag to become familiar with companies, positions, but then also see that passion. So all three components are important, but to get your feet wet, I'd say feel free to start with social media and then you can plan out for the next one since we do this twice a year every year.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe they can get on Instagram and search that hashtag to get some examples, see some good
Mm-hmm.
examples of what people have done. So, all right, well, you're doing great work at Seed Your Future. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, that was great.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Stop recording.